Hi, you guys. It's Yaz. And today I want to talk about the smear campaign of the covert narcissist. I get a lot of questions about this. People are always saying, well, what if they talk about me to other people? What if they start bad-mouthing me at my job, or they start bad-mouthing me in the family, or, they start telling everybody these things and these lies about me? Number one, okay, when you're dealing with a covert narcissist, they never fight directly. They always fight indirectly. And one of their weapons is to use other people against you, okay? Covert narcissists are gossipers. So even before the relationship broke down, they were talking about you, in case you didn't realize it. And they were talking about you to the flying monkeys, all right? These are the people that are closest to the narcissist. That could be their friends, their family. Some covert narcissists will even talk to your friends and family to try to make you look crazy to them, because a covert narcissist is worried about their image. So they're going to do damage control. They're going to be saying things to these other people, even, early on, to make you look like you're unstable. They love to use the mental card. They love to say like there's something wrong with you. You have anger issues. You're negative. You're insecure. You don't know how to trust. You have all these mental issues. And the reason that they love to use the mental card is because when they go to other people and they talk about you, other people will think there's something wrong with you, and they're not going to want to be around you, all right? Or they're going to not take anything that you say seriously because they're going to think that you have mental problems. This is why one of the tools of the covert narcissist, a big one, is reactive abuse. They feel by them being cool, okay, and not showing emotions, they're in control. And when you go off and you start yelling and screaming, you look like you're not in control of your emotions. This is why, as hard as it is, okay, and it's hard when they're triggering you and, they're treating you like a jerk and they're lying and they're gaslighting to you and they're sitting there with a smirky smile, okay, and it's driving you crazy and you just want to let them have it. The best thing to do is to just walk away, okay? Walk away, or if you want to say something like, does it make you feel better to put me down, okay? That's the way of letting the covert narcissist know, I know what you are, you're not getting to me, and I'm not dealing with you, okay? I'm not going to sit here and defend myself. See, the thing is this, you guys, when you're dealing with toxic, the biggest thing that you've got to keep in your mind is you don't have to defend yourself to a toxic person, and you don't have to defend yourself to the other people that the toxic person talks to, all right? If other people are going to believe the covert narcissist, then they were never in your corner from the get-go. People that truly like you, or people that know that you have good character and you're a good person, are not going to side with the covert narcissist, okay? And you don't want people that could be swayed easily either. If somebody could be swayed very easily to side with the covert narcissist, that's not a true friend or a true, that's not somebody that could be in your corner if they're going to believe everything that the covert narcissist says. You've got to take an attitude like, I know who I am. I know I did the right thing. I'm not at fault here. I'm dealing with a toxic person that is desperate, and that's why they have to smear me to these other people, because they're desperate, and it makes them feel better to have other people in their corner. See, a narcissist values how many people back them up. They deal in numbers. They're not somebody that just deals with one person. That's why they'll always say, oh, I have tons of friends. What friends do you have? Because they value a person by how popular they are, what their status is in life. Are they rich? Are they famous? Are they prominent? That's where a covert narcissist puts their value on, how established somebody is. That's where you'll find the covert narcissist there kissing ass up to these people and want to be associated with these people. So it's like this, you guys. You've got to expect when you have a falling out with a covert narcissist that they're going to go behind your back and they're going to be talking about you. But you also have to keep in mind, like I said before, they've been talking about you since day one, okay? Day one. This is why your own inner strength is what you need, okay? You've got to be independent, that you don't need anybody, and you don't need anybody's validation. You don't need anybody for money, and you don't need them for their validation as well, okay? Never, ever put yourself in a position where you've got to sit there and defend yourself to outsiders, okay? So when outsiders come back to you, and some of them may tell you what the covert narcissist was saying about you, okay, the best way to handle that is just to be like, this person, they're toxic and they don't speak the truth. Then, of course, they're going to smear me because it makes themselves feel better to put me down so that they don't have to take accountability. Or you just don't have to, reply at all. You just have to be like, that's their version of it. And we know that they don't speak the truth. They're of course going to smear me because they're hurt that, we had a falling out or we're not together or something like that. You never have to defend yourself, okay? Because the more you defend yourself, the more you're going to look weak to everybody else, okay? See, people that really know the covert narcissist, if they side with them, they were in that covert narcissist corner or they needed that narcissist. Understand that, okay? That their allegiance was already to that narcissist for whatever reason. They needed that covert narcissist more than they needed you. So that's why they're going to side with the covert narcissist. And if that's the case, goodbye, good luck. Because the other thing too is you don't want to be associated with anybody that the covert narcissist is associated with. That's why when you break up with a covert narcissist, you need to cut all ties from any people that you have mutual connections with. Or if you have to deal with them, don't tell them anything going on in your life, okay? Because anything you tell them is going to go back to the covert narcissist and it's going to give them something to talk about. The other thing with the smear campaign is this, you guys. When you meet somebody in the beginning stages of a relationship, one of the biggest mistakes that people make is they divulge too much information too soon. Understand this. When you tell somebody too much too soon, you're giving them more, fuel for later on to use against you or to smear to other people. And the biggest problem with dealing with a narcissist or being in a relationship with a narcissist is that you trust too soon. This is why people got played, because you trusted this person too soon. You believed what they said. They seemed sincere. They seemed genuine, but it was the beginning stages of the relationship. You didn't give it enough time, okay? So even if somebody is like the greatest person for the first 3 months, they're calling, they're texting, they're really nice, they go out of their way for you, that doesn't mean shit. It's the first 3 months. If they're doing that after, let's say, 6 months to a year, then you could kind of let your guard down a little bit and say, okay, this person is now showing me over 6 months that they're showing me consistency, they're following through. But there's also other things that you have to look at when you're dealing with a covert narcissist. You've got to look at their track record. Now, if they were talking about other people, you could trust and believe that one day they're going to be talking about you. See, this is what they do. They'll sit there when it's all new with you, and they'll be talking about their exes, how they were, bad people, they were cheaters, they were liars, they were insecure, and everything like that. So whatever they were saying, like about their exes, down the road when they have a falling out with you, guess what? They're going to be talking to the new supply about you and saying you were the same thing, okay? They're going to rip you through the mud. But who gives a shit what the new supply thinks, because their opinion doesn't matter. They don't even realize what's in store for them. They'll find out down the road what the narcissist is about. And that brings me to another point. Never, ever reach out to the new supply and tell them what the narcissist is or isn't, okay? Because number one, it makes you look weak. It makes you look desperate. And they're not going to believe you anyway, okay? They're going to think that you're just a scorned person that's trying to break them up. And the narcissist has already manipulated them even before you would reach out to them to think that you are a nut job, okay? Because that's the covert narcissist goal, is to make you look like a nut job. So the best thing to do is just stay away and let them destroy themselves. And they always do, because all that toxicity that covert narcissist showed with you can trust and believe it's going to happen to the next person and the person after that. Why? Because this is their basic character. This is their pattern of behavior, and it doesn't just change from person to person. It's going to be the same. They may, manipulate a little bit different depending on who they're dealing with, but their pattern of behavior, the pattern that they manipulate, will be the same, okay? So if you're dealing with a really toxic person, they're going to be really toxic down the road with the new person. Believe me, trust me when I tell you this, because I've seen it time and time again. Like, I get people all the time that say to me, they look so happy in their new relationship. I said, you know what? Just kick back, give it time, and you're going to see they're not even going to be together down the road. All those pictures that they posted in the beginning, guess what? Down the road, you're not even going to see that person, on their social media anymore. All of a sudden, they're going to be deleted. That's how you know that something went down between the two of them. Not that you should even care, okay? Because you want to look forward. You don't want to look back. When you look back, you're wasting your life looking back. The past is gone. You've got to accept them for who they are and let them go. Now, there's nothing you can do to stop a covert narcissist from smearing you. There's absolutely nothing you can do. This is their tool of revenge, okay? Is to smear you, or their other tool is the silent treatment and to ignore people. They want to freeze people out. So this is why you have to be so strong within yourself and be able to handle being on your own. I just put a post up about this, and it's so true, okay? And what I said basically is, you will heal when you're able to go through that hell of loneliness, and then eventually you're going to come out even stronger than you were before the relationship with the narcissist, because you know what it is to be alone. You conditioned yourself to be able to deal with it. You didn't have to be codependent on anybody. You're by yourself and you're good. Okay, you're good. See, when you're an independent person and you don't need anybody in your life, you don't have to be in a relationship. You don't need somebody to tell you you're doing a good job or you look good. You know who the fuck you are. You become a very powerful and dangerous person, because no narcissist will be able to have an impact on you. So when the narcissist, the covert narcissist, goes around behind your back and they're smearing you and they're saying all these terrible things about you, guess what? You don't care, because you don't need these people in your life. Their opinion means nothing, all right? And if these other people want to believe the covert narcissist, they were not your people. And so what does that mean? That means your people are somewhere else, and you've got to find people that accept you for who you are and can see through the bullshit and realize that you're a good person, you're not a toxic person, and anything that comes out of the covert narcissist's mouth doesn't mean shit, okay? It's a very hard thing to do, okay? And I understand that. And I've been through that, where I've been smeared by people. I've been smeared by people in my family. I've been smeared by friends. I've been smeared by exes. And you get to a point, okay, after you've dealt with so many toxic people, that you don't even give a shit anymore what anybody says, because you see them for what they are, and their opinion means nothing. Their opinion means nothing, because take a good look at their lives. Most of the time, their lives are a mess. So who are they to judge you? They're nobody to judge you, okay? Always look at the source. Who's opening and running their mouth? Somebody whose life is not together, or somebody who's a miserable person, or somebody who's jealous. And covert narcissists, the root of their toxicity is their insecurity and their jealousy, okay? They're always jealous of everybody else, even in families, okay? You say to yourself, see, the scapegoat really feels it, and the truth teller feels it. That's what I am. I'm a truth teller, and I've been the scapegoat. So I know what it is, not just in romantic relationships, but also in family. But you get to a certain point of maturity, and this is why education is key. Knowledge is power. The more you're able to study people and understand who you're dealing with, the more you're able to say, you know what? The problem wasn't me. The problem is I'm dealing with a toxic person who's insecure and jealous and is in competition with me and is putting me down so that they could rise above because of their insecurity, okay? Or that they're money driven and they're trying to beat you out in some kind of money aspect, all right? So they got to get you out of the way and discredit you to everybody because they're after some kind of pot of gold, all right? Covert narcissists are very, very money driven. That's probably the number one supply that a covert narcissist ultimately wants, because they feel that with that money comes the fact that they're a somebody. Money equals you're a somebody to a covert narcissist, all right? So covert narcissists always want to be where the money is. They also like the finer things in life. They like the designer labels. They like the fancy cars. A lot of them are, snobs, all right? And yet they have nothing really to be snobby about, but they put on that air of being a snob because they want people to think that they're something, okay? People that have to do that, people that are snobby are very insecure, because somebody who's insecure doesn't have to prove to everybody else that they're somebody, okay? But an insecure person that always has to have a designer label on, or has to have a Mercedes or a BMW or a fancy car, or they have to have some kind of status thing, is an insecure person that wants to prove to everybody else that they are somebody, because covert narcissists are worried about their image. Understand this. When you're dealing with a covert narcissist, you're dealing with an extremely insecure person that can't communicate, that is passive aggressive, that wants to put on a false image to make themselves feel like they're somebody, and they want everybody else to think that they're somebody as well, okay? So, you guys, it's like this, all right? You can't control what other people do. You can't control a covert narcissist going around and smearing you, okay? Go ahead, talk out your ass, all right? That's how you got to be. I don't care what you have to say, because again, your word doesn't mean shit, all right? You've got to, if you're around people that they talk to and these people are looking at you funny, or they're not including you in anything, well, goodbye and good fucking luck. You don't need somebody like that in your life. Then you have to redirect yourself and start networking and making other friends, or to be around other people in your life that, are not that judgmental and critical and look at you a certain way, okay? The other thing, keep in mind too, and this is so true, somebody said it and it's so true. Anytime you try to hold a covert narcissist accountable, they automatically say you have anger issues, okay? Again, we're dealing with somebody that's trying to depict you as having a mental problem, okay? Oh, I really think you should talk to a therapist. Or they love to go to outsiders, smear you, and say, I really think they have some mental issues. They're an angry person, this and that. No, that's not what it is. What it is you don't want to take accountability. So now you're going to call me the angry person so that everybody looks at me angry, because you, the real root of the problem is the fact that you are not transparent and can't say what's on your mind and take accountability. Instead, you have to gaslight and say bullshit gaslight phrases like, oh, I really don't remember, or I don't know what you're talking about, or it didn't happen like that. That's all in your mind. No, gaslight. Recognize it. And people say, well, what do you do when somebody gaslights you? Well, When somebody gaslights you, what does that say? That says that they're not being honest and truthful, right? They've got to use other phrases to confuse you and, mind fuck you. So the minute that you see somebody's trying to mind fuck you with the, amnesia act, I don't remember, I don't recall, that was so long ago. That didn't happen. I don't have a problem with you. Anytime somebody can't, be real with it, that's the moment that you have to walk away and say, I'm dealing with toxic. Let me get out of here. I am dealing with somebody that can't talk straight. And this is why you can never resolve conflict with a covert narcissist, because they'll never be honest about shit. All right? They'll never, ever say it for what it is, whatever conflict you had with them. They'll never say, they'll always twist it around to put it in their corner, in their favor, and make like you don't know what you're talking about or you're the problem. Okay, so the minute that you see that they can't take accountability and, they just have to keep twisting things, and you're sitting there, exhausting yourself trying to explain yourself to somebody who is not listening, who doesn't care, who doesn't want to hear the truth because they're afraid to hear the truth because they can't deal with shame, is the minute that you don't deal with that person whatsoever, okay? You fly the flag and you say, you know what? This person can't own it. I'm out of here. I'm fucking out of here. I'm not dealing with somebody who could speak truth. I'm dealing with a shady person that's playing, mind games and word fuck sentences to try to confuse me. No. You're not going to confuse me. I know what it is, all right? And I see right through your nonsense. This is why I tell you guys, you've got to sharpen your mind. You've got to know when somebody is gaslighting you. You've got to recognize it, all right? And, the minute that, they can't answer you directly, yes or no. The minute they got to add all these extra words and everything, and they're explaining and they're bringing in other shit into the conversation that has nothing to do with what you're talking about, is a person that's trying to deflect from taking accountability and won't own it. But the biggest defense of a covert narcissist is an offense, and that's to make you look crazy. Understand that. That's their game. Their game is to make you look crazy. You got mental issues. That's the game that they use to deflect from them taking accountability for being wrong or owning it. They'll never stick to the topic at hand when you're talking about it. Instead, they're going to attack your personal character. So when you try to resolve conflict with somebody, okay, a covert narcissist, which is literally impossible, the best thing to do is gray rock or not deal with them at all right, keep in mind, they are just going to deflect and blame shift, all right? And when it gets really hot in the kitchen, they'll run, okay? They love to run and say, you're crazy, and they go running off somewhere, all right? This is so they don't have to deal with it. You got their back against the wall. When a covert narcissist runs in the middle of you trying to hold them accountable, you fucking got them, that they got to run, okay? So who cares if they call you crazy? You got to laugh about it. Yeah, I'm crazy. I got you. Look at you. You're running because you got something to hide, all right? And that's what covert narcissists do. They run to avoid accountability. And then what they do is they come back later on and they don't bring up the argument because they still don't want to face that shame, okay? So the bottom line is, and the other thing they're going to do is and the minute they run, they're going to be contacting everybody else and talking about how you're a nut job, all right? Because they need those outside people to be in their corner. They gang up, all right? Covert narcissists love to have other people gang up against you, and their goal is to isolate you and make you feel alone. This is to break you. And that's why I tell you, you've got to be so secure within yourself, financially secure, mentally secure, emotionally secure. You've got to have your own thing going. And when you have your own thing going, you won't give a shit what that covert narcissist does, because they have no effect on you whatsoever. They can talk to, Joe, Schmo, Harry, and whoever else, and who cares? Who cares? I don't need you in my life, okay? I'm good. I'm good. That's when you really have your power and you become a dangerous person, because these people cannot sway you because you're good and you don't need them in your life. I'll give you guys an example, okay? It's like I had somebody that was talking about, her boyfriend was treating her lousy and everything like that. And she said, I was trying to resolve it, and he said he was going to resolve it, but, he keeps breaking my boundaries. And I said to her, of course he's going to keep breaking your boundaries, because you're still there. You're still there, okay? And he knows it. He knows he could do what he wants, and you're still going to be there. You have to, when you have a boundary, you've got to have consequences to that boundary. You can't just say, you better not do it, and you just sit there and argue, and then there's no consequences of you leaving the person. You've got to be strong enough to say, you know what? I respect myself, and I'm not going to have anybody treat me like that. That's it. You get one warning. You break that, guess what? I'm not going to be here the next time, okay? That's how you respect yourself, and that's how you avoid getting your life in a mess, all right? So let me just, cap off on this, you guys. Again, you can't control what other people do. You can't control them. But what you can control is how you react to them and whether you deal with them. And the best thing is to not react to toxic. You want to show them indifference. You want to show them that they don't affect you. And when you see that they're doing these kind of things, you want to have nothing whatsoever to do with them, okay? You don't even go back and forth and argue with them, because that's feeding the narcissist. You're showing them you care. You've got to show them, I don't really give a shit. Go ahead, talk away. Enjoy yourself. Go wear yourself out. Wear that tongue out, okay? Because you know what? I'm going to be working on myself and doing things that are productive while you waste your life away talking about people behind someone's back, because you have no life. See, people that got to talk behind somebody's back, they are somebody that's got no life. Because if they had a life and they were busy and they were working about improving their life, getting into their careers or getting into their job or being a hustler and doing well for themselves, they wouldn't worry about that petty shit of talking behind somebody's back. But a covert narcissist does that because they got no fucking life, and they're worried about their image. So they're always worried what people are going to think, and they've always got to beat you to the chase and talk to all these other people and talk bad about you. Now, one other thing I want to bring up, okay? Somebody said, when does the smear campaign end? The smear campaign ends when that covert narcissist has exhausted themselves. They feel they've done everything they could do to try to hurt you, all right? They've got to get it out of their system, all right? They got to blow their gasket. They got to get it out of their system. So they'll either do it on social media or talk behind your back or whatever else. And it's going to stop when they see that they're not getting any kind of reaction out of you. This is why you don't want to show any reaction, because the more reaction you show, the more they know they're getting to you, and it's feeding that covert narcissist to continue the bullshit of the smear campaign. So you got to show them whatever they do, you could care less. You don't even bring it up to them. You don't bring it up to anybody. In other words, you're not even paying attention to what they're doing or what they're saying, because they are nothing. They are nothing. Their word is nothing. It means nothing to you. You're focusing on what you got to do to be successful in your life. You're not going to be dealing with these clown bullshit games. Let the little kids play over there. You're moving forward and going to be successful in your life and not deal with that nonsense. Okay? So I hope that helps you guys. All right? And if it does, please hit the subscribe button. Please share. And please have a great day. If you guys are having a problem in your dating or relationship, or you're dealing with somebody maybe that's narcissistic, you don't know if they're a narcissist, or you're just having problems, you're in a toxic relationship and you need some clarity on it, Go to the link in the podcast description for my website where I offer email and phone coaching. If you have a quick question, just a quick question, and you want to get a video sent back to you answering your question, there's also a link there for Vizio where I will send you a personalized video answering your question. Hi, you guys, it's Yaz, and I want to tell you about my 2 books on Amazon. The first book is Regain Your Power. It's all about power and relationship. Who has the power in the relationship? And it goes into all of that, okay? The other book is Signs He's Not Into You, He's Wasting Your Time, okay? Check it out. It gives you a lot of good clues as to whether you're with somebody who's a real one or somebody who's just going to waste your time. You could read them both with Kindle's free trial membership. So check it out. Link is in the podcast description. Hi, you guys. I just want to let you know that the Game Exposed now has their merchandise available. Check out the link in the bio, and you could go check it out. There's cool hoodies, cool sweatpants, cool hats. So go to the bio for the link. And also, don't forget to follow me on Facebook at The Game EXP 123, and also on Instagram, The Game EXP 123. Okay? And have a great day.